Ah, okay, okay. All right, okay. Ja, hallo liebe Freunde des gepflegten Brettspiels und herzlich willkommen hier auf der Spiel in Essen 2023 und wir haben hier den Antoine.
Yeah, hi everyone.
And English, German, yes. Also er ist von Crowdfunding Agency und wird mit Studio H dann sozusagen an einem Spiel arbeiten, und zwar Chronicles of Osmae. Hope heißt das Spiel und das wird 2024 auf Kickstarter starten. Und jetzt erzählt er mal so ein bisschen, um was es in dem Spiel geht und ja, ich bin selber gespannt und er wird uns jetzt hier alles erzählen und wir wechseln natürlich jetzt auf Englisch. So, hi.
Hi. Thank you. So I will present to you Hope Chronicles of Osmae. The concept is to have the game launched on on crowdfunding, not Kickstarter. Crowdfunding, we don't have decided yet, in the second half of 2024. It's a semi-cooperative board game introducing dungeon crawler phases, cooperative, and competitive Eurogame phases, which I will detail during the presentation. It's up from 2 to 4 players and duration about 90 minutes to 2 hours per play session. Okay, so the game has been created and written by a movie scenarist. So during the presentation you might feel like you are looking at a Netflix movie, Netflix series, which might be interesting.
Yes, of course.
So in Hope, you are playing like one of the 4 houses rulers, and suddenly from the west a threat comes. They are called the clairvoyants, and they are like heretics, purging and burning everything on their way. They are pushing your people to the eastern coast of Esperantia, which is your country, and you are left with only one choice: take boat and flee by sea to the island of your goddess Osmae. Only problem being, this island has always been surrounded by a deadly mist, a poisonous one, so nobody could go through that. And you have the tradition to send your deceased warriors to this island so they can be resurrected and serve your goddess Aya for the rest of eternity.
Okay, is it like Fog of War then?
It's kind of a fog of war, but this time it will open when you need it the most and not when you discover it. Okay. So your people flee the island, and suddenly the mist opens and you can go to the island of Osmae, and the mist closes back behind you once you have crossed. So your pursuers can follow you for now. And once you arrive on this island, you see all the boats you sent previously with the deceased warriors, but there is nobody, no one, no cadavers, nothing. And you don't know why. That will be part of the exploration step.
Okay.
Here you can have samples of the figurines, which will be 16 millimeters size, and the monster can be up to 4 times the size of the miniature, so it can make interesting boards with everything. So I was mentioning previously a dungeon crawler phase. So we have this part. The board will be on a book, a spiral book, and once you open it, you have a 200 squares board on the right. And on the left you have the setup scenarios, the lore, etc. and events which will be triggered once you reach some part of the board. The interesting part is the management of your skill sets. Each house has 5 skill cards which are their own and asymmetric, and 5 basic cards. And when you go in exploration, you have to choose how many cards you take with you. Each time you use one, you gain fatigue. It's polluted cards, like this one, that prevent you from having more than 10. And once you have to go over 10, you have to dismiss your skill cards, which means the most exhausted you are, the less good actions you can play.
Okay.
You have to rest to decrease the exhaustion cards. As I said, there are trigger events. Once you reach the A squares, for instance, you will have an event triggering and you will have to resolve it. The player board character is interesting, considering that you can customize it as you want. If you want to play someone very strong and very resilient, you can do so, even though he looks frail, it's not a problem. And if you want someone who is very resilient but also agile, you can do so. And another interesting part is that every equipment in the game has durability. So the more you parry attacks, the more your armor suffer damages, the more it will break, the sooner it will break.
Can you repair it?
You can of course repair it, but during the encampment phase, which comes later. Okay. And also when you drink potion, it doesn't magically refill at the end of the scenario, so you have to brew new ones in the encampment phase too.
Okay.
Here are some mercenaries, which will replace your main heroes later in the term of the game. And something very interesting with the mercenaries is that they all have a backstory, a lore, and some thresholds that need to be attained in order to unlock new history, new skills, etc. And they will replace your main hero through the course of the game. Here is the encampment phase. So this is the Eurogame parts of the game. Once you take a slot, it's taken and the others can't do that. They can't come on your spots. And the goal here will be to prepare your hero for the next dungeon crawler phase, but also to gain the most influence. This part is set competitive for two reasons. If you have the most influence at the end, you gain a bonus for the next scenario, and also you gain a point. At the end of the 15 campaign scenario, the one with the most points is declared the total winner and the ruler of every house. So you have to gain the influence at this point. Each encampment phase comes with an event. Events always have three choices, and the choice you will make will impact subsequent events and the story of the game. Also, when you finish a dungeon crawler phase, you can always come back. There is a permadeath concept, so if your hero dies, he dies on the ground. His equipment stays with him, and you have, if you want, to go back to retrieve the body and the equipment, but you will see that the game has evolved since you had actions, and it might have changed from the first encounter there. So, when I was talking about influence, every house has a specialty. And for instance, your weapon is badly damaged, you have to repair it. You call the proud blades. They are the blacksmiths of the continent. So you go there, they repair your weapon, but they gain influence. So you have to think carefully if you want to give influence to such or such houses at some point, or if you can wait a bit more, do another dungeon crawling phase, and maybe stay the most influential in the encampment. Okay?
So the houses are the players? The different?
So that's every house has an own action. So as I said, the proud blades will repair weapons, the truth seekers will brew potions for you, and some others will do plot cards, which will try to decrease influence of your competitors during this phase. You can also recruit survivors, like they came with you by boat, but maybe they were not from your house, and now you want them to your house so they can give you advantages for the compound phase. And that quite summarizes everything about the competitive phase. Then you have some lore. So, a beautiful art. The illustrator is Klaus Pilon. He has done an amazing job with making this world vivid, and he really did a really great job. Here's the plot I told you about with the goddess Aya. Here is a sample of the bestiary you will meet during the game, and you will have to understand why you have such various beasts on this island by exploring it. And here you have the 4 house rulers. The truth seeker, as I said, are seeking knowledge, and everything is about wisdom. So they do potions, they do science. The proud blades, they were the first to send all their men and able warriors to fight the clairvoyants. They have all been wiped out, so now women have to take the arms to protect their country and the continent. Here are the wood creeds. They are what we can say as the druids of the game. They are wise, and they make the most to have Aya's, your goddess, rules being respected. So they are very traditional. And the bright winds are the ones who are always seeking to amass riches and to be the most influenced. So you must be careful with them during the encampment phase. And this summarizes the game Hope, which will be held by Studio 235, which is a new French publisher. And the crowdfunding agency will manage the campaign during the second half of 2024.
Okay. So, ja, also das Ganze ist so ein bisschen hier dieses, Kooperative sozusagen mit Dungeon Crawl etc. Und dann hat man diesen Eurogame-Style kompetitiven Mode. Also sehr interessant. Alright, okay. And 2024, yes.
Yeah, second semester, second half.
Okay. So
You liked it?
yes, it sounds very interesting, especially the combination of co-op and competitive with Eurogame elements. Okay, I'm interested. So yeah, we wish you good luck with it.
Thank you very much, and I hope you had a good lesson.
Yep. And I hope you will too. So bye.